Now we will talk about one of the analytical procedure that is very frequently utilized in the food industry. This is determination of specific gravity of sugars. Generally, from the physical properties point of view, density is one of the parameters. This is very routinely utilized, and it is described as mass per unit volume at a specific temperature. And it is generally utilized to identify different foods because every food at a given condition of temperatures and the other conditions, it would have a specific density from which we can measure it that whether it's a pure food compound or not. Anyway, other than density, this specific gravity is another parameter. This is often utilized. This is very much related to the concept of density. The specific gravity, we'll discuss that what are the use and how we measure this specific gravity. So if we talk about the definition of specific gravity, it's the ratio of the density of a substance at a specified temperature to that of water at 4 degrees C. So this is a comparison of density of any other compound with the water at 4 degrees C. And why we measure this density at 4 degrees C is that the density of water at 4 degrees C is equal to unity. So we always have one value for density at 4 degrees C. But this can be changed. For example, if we have, if they measure the density of water at 20 degrees C, it would not be exactly 1, but it would be 0.99823 gram per centimeter cube. So you see, this is very much close to 1, but it's not 1. So we have to measure this for exact calculation purposes as 4 degrees C. It has to be measured for most uses. And the density is measured as gram per centimeter cube, whereas specific gravity, because it's a ratio, so it would not have any units to be described. So if we look at the benefits of doing, why we do this analysis for in different food labs, it can tell us about a lot of things about adulteration or the quality of any food or composition of any food. For example, if you look at the amount of water that is added to milk for adulteration, or maybe if there is fat has been removed from milk. Similarly, fruit juices can be tested whether they have added sugar or if they have enough sugar or not, or what is the sugar level in different fruits. Alcohol content of different beverages can also be determined by using these kind of principles. So adulteration is one of the major reasons why we use this specific gravity principle. There are different mechanisms in which we can measure the specific gravity. One of the instrument is called as hydrometer. The principle of hydrometer is based on the Archimedes principle that whenever we put something into a liquid, the amount of liquid which is displaced by this compound or this material, that is the equal to the buoyancy force that is applied to the equal of it is equal to the weight of water displaced. So that would tell you about whether the product would sink or float on the water surface. So if it is heavier, it's a high specific gravity, this would sink, and otherwise it would float. And on that basis, we build all the boats that they would have less replacement of water as compared to their own weight. So they would always float on the water. If we have lower density of a food, the hydrometer it will sink, and vice versa. Another checking parameter is also done through Saccharometer, or it is also called as Brix meter. They are measured. They are very much particularly utilized for measuring the sucrose content in different fruit products, especially liquid fruit products, or maybe juices or soft drinks. This can be used Saccharometer. This is a hydrometer graduated particularly. It gives you the percentage of sugar within these food liquids, and this is expressed in terms of Brix. Another approach that is done to measure specific gravity is to utilize a refractometer. And this refractometer is based on the principle that the solvents present within these liquid food, they would refract the light, and on that basis, higher is the amount of solid, higher is the refraction of light. So that would give us an idea about how much solids are present within any liquid food. So if we look at the lab procedure for measuring this specific gravity, we can look at the procedure. We have to weigh a dry container up till the nearest gram. We need to have the accurate figure for exact weight. We would fill this container with water first, and this water must be cooled, deionized, boiled and then deionized. In the cool form, it must be added to the container. We would fill the container at the right level very carefully, and we judge the level, and we weight this container with water. We look at the total weight after adding water. Then the second thing is we fill this dry cup with the test material. Now we'll use the same cup, and we would use the test material. Again, we would be very careful to measure exact grams of weight, and it must have a proper fill. It should have the same fill as we had for the water, so that actual comparison can be made. Now the calculation comes. The calculation formula for that is we would look at the weight of the filled container minus weight of the container only. So that would give you the weight of water or liquid, and it is divided by volume of the container. Where the volume of the container is calculated by the weight of container plus water minus weight of the container. By utilizing this formula, you can get the volume of the container, and having all these values, after measuring all these values, you can calculate the specific gravity of any food product. As I earlier said, because it is ratio of density of any food to water, and density is expressed as gram per centimeter cube, but because this is density ratio density, so we don't have any unit, so it is only expressed in numbers. So this is how we can calculate the specific gravity of different foods, and that specific gravity then it can be related, and it can have different application for food adulteration checking, or looking at the amount of sugars present or amount of solids present in any food. So this is how specific gravity is measured. There are different methods we discussed, and what specific gravity is and what are uses of specific gravity for a food technologist.